What's up guys, and welcome back to another episode of Career Mode. This is episode number 65. We're starting today's stuff on the back of the last episode where we made 6 new signings on transfer deadline day, and thank God I did, because for our first game outside of the window, what happens? Nico Schlotterbeck signed, star new centre-half, into partner Matthias de Ligt for the season. Goes down with an ACL in stoppage time in our victory over Hoffenheim, and he's done for practically the entire campaign. He might come back for the final month, but for the most part he'll miss practically the entire season. Brilliant. So I said my main area of concern was depth. I said my main position of concern in terms of depth was CB. What happens? We lose our second best centre-half 4 games into the season. For the season. Typical, right? So, yeah, Bella Kotchap is going to come in and partner de Ligt for the season. Now, I've got to be honest, I'm not against dropping Kimmich down to centre-half and playing the captain as a ball-playing defender alongside Matthias de Ligt. I'm not against doing it, but that would be a gamble. We've got Bella Kotchap, Arian B signed an extension, and we brought in that young free agent as well. Now, Arian B and Beck, the 2 young centre-halves here, I'm not utterly convinced they could do it for an entire season of starting centre-halves. So if Bella Kotchap or de Ligt goes down, we're absolutely screwed. So I'm definitely thinking about maybe trying Kimmich at centre-half for a few games to see how he gets. So we know the guy can play right back. Centre-half, well, I don't see why not. But for now, yeah, a little bit concerning knowing that Schlotterbeck is done for the season. Our first big test with Bayern. How will we cope for the first few games without Nico knowing he's done for practically the entire campaign? Well, first game of today's episode at home at the Allianz, Champions League group opener, AS Monaco on match day 1. And you would have seen our group that was drawn. We got Celtic, we got Young Boys, and we got these guys as well. I said when the groups were drawn, no doubt about it, we got a target top spot here. No disrespect to those 3 teams whatsoever, but really you would say we are the firm favourites to go through this group and its group winners as well. So I wanted on match day 1, big win. We haven't had a big win so far to start this season off, to get a big win here at home, lay down our intentions. We'll be alright without Schlotterbeck. We'll be okay with our Seamen carrying that knock. We'll be alright. Wasn't exactly a big win, but it was a reasonably comfortable one. Yep, group opener, we win the game by 2-0 and extend our 100% start. And that was a big psychological hurdle as well, because like I lose a lot of European group openers. Don't ask me why, but I lose a lot of European group openers in this game though. Absolutely composed as it gets. With a better Kotchap as well, coming in alongside de Ligt. Well, I say I'm not against dropping Kimmich down, but Bella Kotchap coming in, I will start him for the time being alongside Matthias de Ligt. And at 80 overall, I'm sure he can do a decent job alongside Matthias. So far, so good. 1 game, 1 clean sheet, 1 man in the match display as well. But unfortunately, there was another injury, as you would have seen during the passage of play. Ryan Gravenberch, done for 3 months. A broken toe. 2 assists in 4 in the Bundesliga for our star Dutch midfielder, brought back to the Allianz from Everton. And he's done until around November-December time. Typical, can't buy a break at the moment. First off, Seaman went down and he's just coming back from his knock. Then we see Schlotterbeck done for the season. Well, most of the season. And now Gravenberch done until around Christmas time probably. Honestly, to start the season off, man, like it's almost like the game knew where my weak spot is and it knew where to target me to make it difficult. But I like it, I really do, and I know I sound like a broken record when I say this, guys. I know I've said it so many times, but honestly, I do get asked quite often, how do you keep your career mode so immersive? How do you keep them realistic? How do you keep them going for so many years without getting bored, playing so many seasons and doing so many different things? I know I sound like a broken record, but my number one tip, increase the injury sliders. Make sure that your players will get injured during the course of the season and adjust it accordingly. If you are a team that is going to be playing lots and lots of games, there's going to be lots and lots of fixture congestion and not a lot of rest time, the chances are, realistically, you would expect those sort of teams to pick up more knocks here and there with more tired legs and less time for rest. So the chances are you're going to get little niggling injuries here and there and everywhere as well. And you're also going to get a couple of serious injuries during the season too. It's realistic. it's immersive, and it makes the game more challenging as well. You know, those little niggling knocks for like 5 days, 2 weeks, whatever, they are very common in football. Very rarely can a team go too many weeks, you know, a couple of months with no knocks, if not serious injuries. They're very, very common. So I definitely think, you know, I know I sound like a broken record when I say it, and I know you're probably sitting there thinking, come on, Doctor Boy, you say it all the time, but seriously, my number one tip: make sure your players get injured. I know it's frustrating. Believe me, no one knows it more than me. Are you kidding me? Schlotterbeck done. I just signed him. I was buzzing he came in. 3 straight clean sheets, and he's done for pretty much the entire season. And we haven't really got that many great options to cover for him. You know, Gravenberch comes in. I was so excited to use him for the first time ever, the complete midfielder. And he's done for 3 months after 4 games. I know it's frustrating, but it's a good thing. It adds to the challenge, it adds to the immersion, it adds to the realism, and I highly recommend it. Honestly, it's my number one tip. I'm not against doing like a video where I give you guys my tips on like immersion and realism. I've got a few more than that as well, but that is without a shadow of a doubt my number one tip. Increase those injury sliders. As annoying as it is, it's realistic and it makes the game a lot more immersive. So anyway, third game of today's episode. First slip up came in our previous game at home to Hertha Berlin, and my goodness, did I really struggle in that game. And I'll be totally honest here, I was lucky to get a point. Yep, a clean sheet and a draw. My first slip up coming home to Hertha Berlin. I'll be totally honest here, I should have lost it. Lambert really saved me in that game, just like he did in the following one. What a signing this guy has been from Sevilla. The 19-year-old holding his own as our Neuer successor. Looking for yet another clean sheet to extend the streak. He was going to get it away at Freiburg. We scored 2 goals in the first half and then a goal in stoppage time for Victor's hat-trick. Get a match ball, 3 goals, and no signs of rustiness for Victor. Misses 4 weeks, comes back in. What does he do? Hat-trick. Yep, perfect way to respond, perfect way to mark your comeback game. Victor Osimhen's first hat-trick of the season. I think we'll probably see 1 or 2 more over the course of the campaign. What a start for our number 9 this season. It is already 6 goals in the Bundesliga, and he's missed 4 weeks worth of action already. This guy is the real deal. So, yep, great big win there against Freiburg. Exactly how he wanted to bounce back. The clean sheet streak extends, and the unbeaten run extends as well. We might have slipped up to Hertha Berlin, but every other game we have won, both in the league and in the Champions League as well. And right now, my main 2 players, Victor Osimhen, despite the injury, and also Lambert, another clean sheet. We've only conceded 1 goal to start the season off. What a fantastic beginning, because you know me, man, my defence is absolutely atrocious, but to start the campaign off, I've been watertight, baby. Like, I very rarely give myself praise. Very rarely do I big myself up. You know me, man, I'm very self-critical. I'm, you know, very self-deprecating. Normally, my defense is like a chocolate teapot. I mean, it just, literally, it's just absolutely worthless. But right now, with Bayern, yes, conceded on the opening day, but since then, lights out, lockdown, watertight. I've been so good with my back line, and Lambert, to be fair, has saved my bacon a few times as well. What a sign he's looking like from Sevilla. So, final game, obviously this is the 4th and final game, travelling to Switzerland, match day 2 of the Champions League group stage here, aiming to get another win and another big victory in the Champions League as well to make it 2 from 2. I want to get through this group as soon as possible. I want to know after 4 or 5 games, a game or 2 to spare, it's done. We're qualified, so I can rest my players for the Bundesliga game. Young boys away in Switzerland, absolutely perfect start. Going up by a goal very early on, but we talked about how good my defence is. I felt quite unlucky here. 3 minutes to go before the break. Interception made, but the ball deflecting right back to Young Boys. What a finish! That was unbelievable. Clips the underside of the crossbar, and the hosts have their leveller. I said Lambert's been amazing. You could have Lambert and Manuel Neuer in the goal for that shot there. Neither's getting close to it. What a finish. And Young Boys going to the break on level terms. 1-1. But really, I felt we'd get back in front at some point. We were the far better team. We were dominating possession. I knew the second goal was coming, and it would as well. Just past the hour mark, Karim Adeyemi He scored our opener, scores our second as well. This is what I've brought him in to do, to either lead the line when Victor needs a breather or step inside for that right and shoot with the left. Lovely finish from Kareem, a brace for our new inside forward in a 2-1 victory against Young Boys. Yep, whether up top or on the right hand side, I know he's going to get me goals. He certainly did in that one as well. 2-1 the final score. So the unbeaten run extends. Back-to-back wins in the Champions League. We might have lost our clean sheet streak, but so far for Bayern Munich, so good. Yes, our first slip-up at home turf to Berlin, but still undefeated in both competitions. 3 points clear in the Champions League, 2 points clear in the Bundesliga ahead of RB Leipzig. Almost perfect start for Bayern Munich, despite the difficulties with the injuries. But that will end today's episode of Career Mode, guys. Big thank you for watching. If you have enjoyed it, if you have, then please do drop a like. Much love to you all. Have a fantastic day, and I will see you for the next episode of Career Mode very soon.